morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. It is time for one more dance here in Division number 4 with the championship on the line. Only 20 points separating Quicksilver and Mitch. Ferrari versus Alpine. It all comes down to this. Mitch has to outscore Quicksilver by 20 points or more to win the championship. So it's going to be a fantastic night here at the home of British Motor Racing. Full quality tonight as well. So we'll be having our 3 knockout stages of qualifying here tonight. And it's going to make qualifying that much trickier. Make tire allocation that much trickier as well. My name is Patrick Goldman, aka Rekas, and I will be one of your hosts and commentators for tonight's action. And alongside me tonight, just like last night, um, hoping that EA will cooperate with him here today, as EA has not been a fan of a lot of people here tonight. I have Daniel with me. Daniel, how are you doing today, mate?
Pretty freaking awesome. Ready to see a fantastic battle between Mitch and QuicksilverDec. I'm excited to see what happens. Div 2 was chaotic last night. Finished what I think finished P15 I think. So pretty decent race by me. It was wet as well. So yeah, very chaotic race, Wreckers.
Very chaotic indeed as we go ahead and just jump straight to trackside. And we are going to go ahead and get ready to go. 17 drivers here as we go ahead and get started with Q1. The bottom 2 drivers will get eliminated unless there is another driver who crashes. So it's going to be P16 and 17 will be dropped after this session. And then in Q2, we will lose everybody outside of the top 10. And then it is going to be the top 10 shootout in Q3 is the order for today and tomorrow. So as we wait for the first driver to join, Polly has ended up joining in. So, and we're hearing about a game crash for someone. So, and to answer the question, yes, if you get eliminated, we will pull you in and try to get a quick interview with you. So, it's kind of like the good old days. It's how things used to be here at Rush, and then we didn't really start doing a lot of full quality. So, Axe game has crashed, so we'll be waiting on him. And we're actually waiting for anybody to actually get out on track in general. So, don't worry, we're not missing any action because there isn't any action here at the moment. It'll be a bit of an adjustment for a lot of these drivers because you go to a full quali, which is 3 different stages versus everybody having to rush out and get their laps in. You can actually be a bit more strategic in this qualifying session, especially with the change in tire allocation.
Yeah, the tire allocation in real life in Canada was a step harder, I believe. So the medium was the new hard, and the hard was the new medium. Kind of chaotic, but it's very quiet racetrack at the moment because everyone's waiting for each other to go up, basically. Everyone's scared of each other. No one wants to go out and set a lap time yet. So as we have 15 minutes and counting down, we're going to have the top 3 now, is it, with Paulie joining, knocked out. So we're still waiting for that one car to come out as we have a bit of action. As you see, a Red Bull coming out of the pit lane. That might be the Red Bull of Dilby. Dilby 13-4 coming out of the pit lane. So we finally have action on track wreckers.
We might be looking at different people because Dilby isn't. He's not in the session. So unless he's racing for a different team under a different name that I am not seeing, but SuperDuck is currently out on circuit, making his way through. Oh, okay. So, I see what's happening here. Okay. I see exactly what's happening here. It is bugged on my end. So, interestingly enough, on the timing tower. Oh, I see what's going on here. So, okay.
There's two super ducks.
Yeah, one of them is Dilby. Super Duck is in the Alpine, and another one is the Red Bull. So, maybe trolling. I don't know, but that is pretty funny that we have two. But because here's the thing, if you look on the top right of your screen, it says Dilby. If you look on the bottom left, it says Soup. That is crazy. That's pretty funny though. That got us good. Um, but yeah, Dilby out on track here tonight. He'll be the first car to hit the circuit as we get ready for the opening laps here of qualifying. And we are going to go ahead and just see how he does here. He's going to go make his way onto the Hamilton straight, and Dilby will begin his flying lap, making his way into the opening stages of corners. And then he's going to go ahead and just try to push his way through. Coming through Sector 1, which can be pretty tricky when it comes to having just when it comes to carrying a lot of pace as he goes onto the Wellington straight, especially the first lap in the Grand Prix. That could be a really tough sector now as he goes and makes his way through Luffield and Woodcote before making the run down to Cops Corner. Now he is making his way to Cops Corner. A very good straight here. And then now he makes his way through the world famous series of S's known as Maggots and Beckett. Gonna go ahead and just fire his way on through before heading to the second DRS zone, to the hangar straight. DRS flap's gonna open. He's gonna burn a good amount of battery, and he will set a pretty solid time in that second sector as he comes through now. Coming through Stowe, riding down Vale, and then coming into Club Corner before he goes ahead and sets the first lap time of the session. Soup for Dilby is going to come across line. A 1:28.61 for Soup for Dilby.
Yeah, very, very good lap by Soup for Dilby. I like what you did there, combined Soup for Duck and Dilby. Love that. As we have another car approaching. It's actually Soup for Duck this time. The real Soup for Duck approaching the final chicane, about to start his lap. We'll follow him around for a lap of the home of British motorsport, Silverstone, as he exits the final corner now. Starts his lap through turn number 1 using a bit of the battery as he is going to try and beat that 28.6. I reckon as Com United goes quicker, 28.7.229. Very good lap by him as he's about to enter the DRS zone and enter the second sector as he is going to come to the first sector split, which is right about now, 27.296, which is purple, as Naya Eshe pops himself up to P2, 27.5, as he is coming around to the famous corner cops, where, if you didn't watch it, 2021, Max and Lewis collided, battling for the championship. Legendary moment, which I still love to this day. Look, got a bit wide. I normally hit that apex in corps, but through Maggots and Beckett's now, turning the battery off, trying to get that perfect run out of Beckett's or Maggots or one of the two corners as he goes a 3.0 sector 2 time. A little bit off of Com United's as he is coming around Stowe, going towards Vale in Club. Through Vale now he goes, trying to beat that 27.2 through Club. Can Soup for Duck go quicker than 27.2 to the line? He does, 26.939 for Soup for Duck. Great lap by him.
Yeah, he'll jump to the top of the times here. As we go to focus, we jump from one LP to another. One of our championship protagonists here And Mitchell needs to outscore Quicksilver by 20 points or more if he wants to take the championship here tonight. So he needs to at least make it to Q3. That's pretty much his. At least that's his qualifying goal. Pole position would be perfect, but it's going to be a tough road. And provisional pole will certainly do the trick as he jumps up with a 126.556. As he goes ahead, he gets ready to go. QuicksilverDec just behind him though. So to create that 20-point gap, I mean, Mitchell would have to finish in the top three, and Quicksilver would just not have to score points. That would be pretty much. I think the only way. I mean, there's a few ways that Mitch could get the title, but long story short, he needs to severely outperform Quicksilver, and Mitchell needs to at least get a podium. He needs to get at least a podium, and he needs Quicksilver to have a generational drop off here. That is the way that this championship gets decided. Moe Nabs now going ahead and making his way down to Wellington Straight, coming into Luffield and Brooklands, as he's going to go ahead and make his way through those corners now. It's going to be a very interesting run as he goes ahead and makes his way through. He's going to go ahead and continue to push on here. We'll see what he can do. There is a temporary yellow. Oh, there is a fair amount of traffic that is currently set up in Maggots and Beckett's. Hopefully that doesn't put anything too crazy on Moe, because Moe would just love a good run through. So we'll just kind of see. He's going to go ahead and just fire on past, making his way through, coming into Vale, making a run down Vale into Club. Gonna go ahead and go good on the brakes, coming through the chicane, and then he's gonna burn it all down to the line. P6 is gonna be his current position on track. And Super Duck is a quali ban. Oh.
Oh, that ain't good. That's
He
not
has
really.
set a lap, so
That might be a race. But how would it work, Rekez? Is it like would it be like I don't know how it would work in this occasion. Would it be a race ban? Would he have to retire or would he have to retire in the pit lane, or I don't know how that would work.
okay, never mind. Soup has no quali ban, so I don't know what Mars is saying at the moment. Not explaining it. So no quali ban for Duck, only Soup. No quali ban, just Soup for Duck. That is all we got. As we're gonna go ahead and continue on, making our way through, as Fish Steps will be the next one to set a quali time here. And then we kind of get ready. Everybody's kind of parking in the pits to get ready for the first of 3 separate rush hours that we're going to get as Fish Lips jumps up into P5. So we do have 3 rush hours this time, 1 in each of the qualifying stages. So we'll lose P16 and 17. And then that is going to be our quali for Q1. But overall, Crutter, Axe, and Minmet have yet to set lap times. So, I mean, it's kind of tricky to say who's going to get knocked out of Q1.
Yeah, very, very, very tricky to say who will, because Cruder, like you just said, Cruder, Axe, and Minmay yet to set a lap time. What I'm gonna say is Axe it will definitely get through. Same with Minmay, but will be with that 28.6 sitting at P14, potentially in the drop zone. I don't know if that's going to be enough for him as we wait and see. As speaking of Axe, he's on an outlap. Same with Fish Lips, but he's just completed his lap. He'll be coming back into the pit. So the first person out of the knockout zone people is Axe. We will definitely follow him for his lap.
All right, and actually, what I'll do here, Daniel, is I'll let you take the onboard lap with Axe if he doesn't come on into the pit. So, gonna get on board now with the V-Carb, and I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you indeed, Wreckers. Out of Stowe he comes through Vale and Club, beginning his lap time, trying to see if he can make it to Q2 with that V-Cub, who have recently struggled in real life, but Liam Lawson has posted him a P7 in Canada. As he begins his lap now, going through Abbey, going towards Farm now, trying to see if he can jump into that top 10, top 5, potentially through Farm now, looking to fly is Axe, or he's trying to chop the timing table off. Down the Wellington Straight he goes, going towards Brooklands and Luffield. The first sector time is a 27.5. That's purple. Best so far. Through Woodcote he goes, going towards Corpse and the famous Maggots and Beckett's. But the first corner he needs to negotiate is Corpse. Can he do it perfectly? Try not to send it too wide. They're looking very good. Very clean for Axe so far. Through Maggots and Beckett's he comes. Not using as much battery through Maggots and Beckett's. Bit wide through Chapel, but looking good. 3-6 for his second sector split. Pretty decent, burning a bit of the battery now as he's coming through Stowe and towards Vale. Let's see if Axe can get through to Q number 2. Through Vale he goes, making sure not to hit those Sotches curbs. Very good. Through Club he goes. Can Axe get on to Q2? The answer is yes. P10 so far, Wreckers. As Rush Hour might be beginning, yes. As you see action in the pit lane, Rush Hour is happening, Wreckers.
Indeed, it is, Daniel. We're going to go ahead and see how everything is going to go to pan out. Remember, we're losing anybody outside of that top 15 is going to be the name of the game here. So we lose P16 to P7. We lose the bottom 2. Moe Naps feels safe. And I think he will be safe. I severely doubt everyone's going to prove to that point where he's going to drop out into the bottom 2. Actually, no, we're going to lose the bottom 3 because Paulie was able to join, but he won't be able to get a lap in, so he joined a bit late. So we'll lose Paulie, and then we'll lose 2 other drivers. United.
I can confirm that Paulie had a quali ban, so that's why he's been missing the whole qualifying, basically.
Alright, and then in that case, is going to be still Paulie and 2 other drivers that are going to be out of the session. So we'll see who those other 2 are that will be joining the Aston Martinez. Actually, well, you're allowed to do a outlap to gather information, but we'll see if he actually does try to set a lap here. He won't have enough time to do so, though. So it is going to be Minmet on a lap now into Williams, making his way through Sector 1. He's going to go ahead and put the pedal to the metal as he makes his way through the opening melee of corners before heading onto the Wellington Straight. And he's going to go ahead and just burn down the battery. And he's going to go ahead and go for it here. It is looking pretty good for Minmay, as he is going to go ahead and just hook it around here, getting ready to make his next steps here in this qualifying session. Getting ready to come down Woodcote, coming into Cops. Heading, oh, a big slide there, but he's got to keep it, he's still got to keep it pinned. He has to keep it pinned as Minmay is going to continue to push on. But that big slide coming out of Cops might hurt him a bit. We might be seeing Minmay dropped out into dropped from Q1 even, so we'll see. He's going to go to push it. He needs to go ahead and beat Dilby. As actually updated on our end, is no longer suit for Dilby, as Dilby does get one ahead of Corrupt. So it's going to be burning down to the line. Only P16 for Minman, so Minman will be out. The question is it going to be Corrupt or Crutter joining him? That is going to be the question of the night. Is it going to be Crutter? Is it going to be Corrupt? Who is going to go ahead and join us in that Q1 elimination drop zone? Or could it be even Dilby? Because Corrupt is still trying to set a lap time. He does improve, so is it going to be Dilby or Crutter? That is going to be the question here now. As we are going to just continue to see who's going to make it. And I don't think he got it. No, Crutter's 16th. So Crutter will be eliminated. Dilby just gets by just by the skin of his teeth. And we'll try to get these drivers in for interviews. But the drivers we have lost, Paulie had a quality ban, and then we had Minmit and Crutter being the last two drivers we have eliminated. So your top 15: Dilby, SJ, Corrupt, Goats, Axed, Muzz, Moe, Carminated, Naya, Sunny Bray, Fish Lips, Superduck, QuicksilverDec, Trio Kev, and Mitchell are your top 15 heading into Q2. So, one session done, two to go.
Yes, but this time instead of 3, it's 5 people to get eliminated in queue number 2. And then we find out who our top 10 is going into queue number 3. As we do have a green light at the end of the pit lane, which means we are underway for queue number 2. Now we need to wait for that one. Now we need to wait for everyone to come out and do their laps, as we have one of our first eliminated drivers of Minmay. Minmay, very unlucky for you there, mate. Just didn't manage to set a lap the whole session. What was going on?
Look, life's been busy at the moment. I've been running back and forth. It's been pretty hectic the past couple of weeks, but yeah, not getting a lap in earlier definitely hurt my chances. Yeah.
Do you think what do you think your lap time would have been if you did manage to post a really good lap?
I couldn't tell you for sure because, unfortunately, as I said, life's been busy. I didn't get to actually do any practice this week, but I definitely would have been safe. Just silly mistake there on the lap, spin that wasn't necessary. I think I did all right to sort of half pull it back, but yeah, obviously where I am definitely isn't ideal.
Yeah, very unfortunate for you there. I'll pass you over to Rekez if he's got any other questions or comments.
How do you think you'll be able to recover in the Grand Prix here, Minmay? Do you think you'll be able to make a few positions up, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a struggle?
I think I've actually said this before at this track, but time will tell. I've been one that's been better race pace wise. Well, I think much better race pace wise than quality wise this season. So, I'm all right at keeping my nose clean. If I can go through this night, touch wood, all clean, and that's the second season in a row with no license points. So, just got to go through the pack nice and cleanly, avoid any incidences, pick my places to make moves, and keep the car on track and not spin it like I did in that qualifying lap like an idiot. And I think I could be in hopefully for a driver of the day interview. Hopefully at the end of the that'd be nice.
Yeah, unfortunate here in Q1, but eyes all forward to the Grand Prix. Best of luck to you, and we'll see you in the race.
Rightio, much appreciated, boys. Hope that the race is all good for you tonight, and cheers for jumping in.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get back to qualifying. That was Williams driver Minmay, who was in the comms box to grab a quick interview after his unfortunate elimination in Q1. And this time, like Daniel said earlier, it is going to be 5 drivers being dropped out from this session. So if you are anywhere from P11 to P15, you are not safe at the moment. You need to be in that top 10 I mean, ideally, you actually want to be in the top 5 because that almost all but pretty much guarantees your safety going into Q3 when we have our top 10 shootout for quali. Anywho, we do have a lot of drivers going ahead and setting out their banker laps. Few drivers going ahead and going through. Axe, I believe, will be the first one to set a lap. Never mind, I am unfortunately a horrible liar. We're jumping on board with the Arsenal man himself, SJ, making his way through. So I had to actually ask about this because he did change his game tag from the Governor to Champs of London. So apparently, in Premier League soccer, um, the Arsenal team actually ended up winning the championship for the first time, and I heard they were kind of similar to the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL, saying that it's going to be our year constantly, and then they finally actually, well, this time they were actually honest. It was actually their year, as we do have somebody who has popped in to the commentary booth. I believe it is for a interview, I think, from the Q1 eliminations. So, is that you, Crutter?
No, I think it's Connor. It's Connor.
Huh, I didn't know that we had a surprise interview with Connor. And sure enough, we do have a surprise interview with Connor. So, Connor, how you doing tonight, mate?
Doing well, and just doing a bit of engineering for the Mercedes boys as usual. So, not too bad. We had a good first session there. Got Trio up into P2, Fish Lips up there as well. So, everything's cruising right now. Ship's cruising well. So, hopefully keep it that way.
Yeah, I mean, what's the energy like in the Mercedes garage right now for this race? Because, like you said, both of your guys had a really good run in Q1, and they're both about to set their first laps in Q2. So, do you think Mercedes is expected to have a good run here tonight?
Yeah, 100%. Trio, he's in a great mindset. We want to get something back from last week, as you guys may have seen at Netherlands. We actually got a safety car glitch where it said we didn't serve our drive-through, so we had to serve it 6 times. So that really screwed us over. So we had to do 6 drive-throughs and 2 stop and goes. So hopefully it comes back around this week. Hopefully we can get a bit more luck. I know Trio's wanting to get some prove himself this week because we were up there for a podium last week and he wants that, and Fish Lips as well. He's driving really well, so it looks like we're going to go well. And by the data that I have right now, bloody good lap so far from Trio, so hopefully he can finish this lap and put it together for us.
Well, provisional pole is one way to start to do that with a 1:26.647 is going to be the time to be now set by yours truly, Triokev. So,
yeah, he's a good driver right now. I think that he'll definitely be one to watch next year or next season, should I say? I think when people go for picking, because he's definitely been a very, very good reserve for us at Mercedes.
All right, I was actually going to ask about if you've heard any inklings on the driver market when it came to Mercedes, but I think I got my answer. Well, I'm going to pass you over to Daniel if he has any other questions or comments.
Yeah, looking very good so far, Connor. What are you expecting a pole in P2 maybe from both your drivers?
If we could get a 1-2, I'll tell you now. I think we'll be all singing. I definitely think that Trio has the opportunity here. I think we can put him on pole, and I think that's where he deserves to be. And I definitely think that we can get Fish Lips 100% in that top 5. And I know we're not in this championship battle, but hopefully we can make it difficult and maybe make the lives of some others a little bit difficult by being up there where they don't really want us.
Yeah, as Fish Lips actually goes P3, so your drivers are currently sitting 1 and 3, currently into Q number 3. I'm pretty sure they're going to be maybe saved because Corrupt, Axe, Goats for Life, and Dilby still have to set a lap. So looking very good so far, Connor. But
yeah, we're hoping. We want to just do one run, but we have another set of tires. We have many sets actually because we only did the one in Q1. So if we feel like it, we might chuck our Trio back out there because I actually think I won't say too much, but I don't think that's a completely fresh set of tires there for Trio. So we definitely have a bit more in our sleeve. So see if we can maybe put a bit of a gap on these guys.
Yeah, I'll let you go get back to your engineering. Good luck. And let's see what your drivers can do, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate it, boys. Have a good night.
Connor sounding very, very confident in the Mercedes drivers. And currently he's got a pretty good right to do so. Currently P1 and P3 at the moment, with Fishlip's about half a second back from Trio Kev. And if he was able to actually set the time on a set of older tires, then that is pretty darn impressive, if I say so myself. Yeah, because, I mean, this is the thing about having the three-stage quali comparatively, because it's... This is going to sound like this is a weird way to phrase it, but it's a lot less mechanical and more strategic. Because pretty much everybody's got a very similar run plan when it's just one quali session, right? Everybody kind of goes out for the banker lap, comes in, and then goes out again. But you actually have more tires to play with, and you actually have to strategize of when you use soft tires. Because if you can have more sets of soft tires to go into Q3, say if you have like 3 fresh sets of soft tires, and if you are able to survive on only one set of soft tires for Q1 and Q2, then that's going to be the play. But yeah, so strategy really does play a huge factor whenever you do these 3-stage qualies. 5 minutes to go at the moment. Corrupt and Goats for Life are the only drivers who have yet to set lap times here on today. Right now, it is looking like the 2 Red Bulls, Naya, Corrupt, and Goats are the drivers in the drop zone currently. But the latter 2 have yet to set a lap time. Trio Kev feeling very confident, so he's going to actually retire from the session. So if he did run both Q1 and Q2 on that same set of softs, then he is going to be sitting real pretty for Q3.
Yeah, plus Connor said that wasn't a, fresh set of tyres as Corrupt comes to the line. Only P14 for him. Does he have time to come around, put another set of tyres on and go again? It's going to be cutting it very, very close, as Goats for Life is the only person to yet set a lap time. But here comes Naya Eshe to the line. Can he get himself into Q3? Yes, he can! With a big, big lap. 26, 6, 7, 8. I know you hate to hear it, but 6, 7, 8. What a lap by Naya Eshe. He's through. That's going to knock Com United out. I kind of want Eshe to get through because I am also an Arsenal fan. So I'm praying that he gets a good lap and improves from that 27.9. Hopefully potential mid 27.4, maybe a low 27. But I reckon 4 minutes to go. Rush hour might be getting ready. Not coming out yet, might be getting ready as Fishlips is coming back out. So very, very, very interesting session so far, Rekkers.
Yeah, you can say that again. And if you guys do like this full quality format, well, you got it again tomorrow for Div 5. It'll be myself and Phoenix covering that race. And it'll actually be the last race. I think it's the last race that the 2 of us are covering. Unless Phoenix is also doing Div 3, which I don't think. I'd have to look at the schedule again. But I know the last race that I'm doing this season is going to be tomorrow night. So it should be a fun one. It's going to be Silverstone. And the crazy thing about this week is that every single championship was still up for grabs with the exception of Div 3. Div 3 was the only championship decided before, and that one was actually decided 2 weeks ago in Monaco for Division 3. This one is going to be pretty tight. It is 20 points here, and that separates P1 and P2. So mathematically, I mean, it may be improbable, but definitely not impossible. Because as the great Murray Walker has once said, anything can happen in motorsport. And if something can happen, it has a very high probability of happening, and that is the beauty of this fantastic sport we call motorsport. Best sport in the world. I will take no substitute. There's nothing like watching fast cars go around fast tracks.
Yeah, you want to talk about anything can happen in motorsport? I was watching NASCAR earlier this morning. because they were doing their Coca-Cola 600 around Charlotte, that big 400 lapper. My boy SVG qualified third because of due to rain that rained out quali, and then he managed to stay within the top 10 basically the whole race, except at the end, where Mother Nature decided to downpour and basically call the race, and Daniel Suarez actually won. So Daniel Suarez came out of nowhere and won. But as we turn our attention from NASCAR to F1, Fish Lips is on a lap. He's about to come through Corpse. Let's see if he can go even quicker. But Goats for Life is also on a lap. Let's see if he can get himself into queue number 3. Like Connor said earlier, they had plenty of tires. So Fishlip is on another lap, going down the hangar straight, going through Stowe now, looking very good. I believe he's 80 thousandths up on his time. Through Vale now. Can he beat his teammate Trio Kev? Through Club. Can he go quicker? To the line. He can't. He improves on his time, but not his position. As Superdoc goes purple. But let's focus on Goats for Life. Down in 15th. Let's see if he can get himself into the top 10. Through Vale he goes now. Very hard on that curb. Looking to gain heaps of time. Through Club. Goats for Life. Can he get himself into Q3? He can. Only up to 8th. Let's see who's next across the line. It's going to be a Ferrari of maybe QuicksilverDec. But he's already through. Never mind, it was Muzz. But here comes Axe. Can he potentially lock himself into the top 10? Axe to the line. He doesn't improve and only P9. That means everyone behind him has to improve to knock him out. As Superdoc goes quickest with a 26.5. As we are waiting for the others down below. As Communited is 8 tenths up. He's improving. Here comes Communited to the line as Mitchell goes even quicker. It's an Alpine 1-2 as Communited jumps the P5. We got a Red Bull coming to the line now, which is Dilby, or Silp for Dilby as he once got called. Dilby, can he get himself into Q3? He can, but up to 7th he goes. Here comes Moe Nabs now, through Club. Can he lock himself into the top 10 shootout? He can, but not officially. He improves on his time, but not positions. What about Corrupt? 15th, jumps up to P10. He's currently through. But SJ, he gets himself into the top 10 with a 27.4. As Goats for Life is backing off, he is done. What can Axe do? Is Axe on the lap? No, he is not. What about Muzz? Muzz is on the lap. He's 7 tenths up. Can he get himself into the top 10 shootout? To the line? He can. Muzzles big, gets himself into the top 10 shootout. But our eliminatees right now are Sunny Bray, SJ, Corrupt, Goats for Life, and Axe, all getting dropped in queue number 2. The top 5 runs Mitchell with a 26.3, Soup for Duck P2, so currently an Alpine 1-2, very good by them. Sitting P2 with a 26.5, then Trio, Naya Eshe, Communited, QuicksilverDec, Muzzles, Dilby, Fish Lips, and Moe Nabs move into the Q3 wreckers.
Yep, and that is going to be Q2 done, dusted, and delivered here in Silverstone. And what a session it was. So we're going to see how this one pans out when it comes to our top 10 shootout coming up here very shortly. We will be talking to our Q2 eliminatees as we go ahead and bring you the results here. So, like Daniel said, we have lost Sunny Bray, SJ, Corrupt, Goats for Life, and Axed, rounding out the drivers that we have lost. And the drivers progressing to the top 10 shootout, it is going to be Mitchell, Superduck, Trio Kev, Naya, Communited, Quicksilver, Muzz, Dilby, Fishlips, and Moe Nabs. Your top 10 shootout contestants. And somehow despite as we were talking pre-race, and despite Dilby saying that he was gonna get eliminated in Q1, he's made it to the top 10 shootout. So good for him. I think he might have underestimated his abilities just a bit. But Daniel, you have axed. You guys can go ahead and kick off the Q2 interviews.
Yeah, thank you indeed, Rekez. Axe, fortunately getting dropped in Q number 2. Very unfortunate for you, mate. What happened?
Yeah, so Q1, my game ended up crashing, which put me off, and then I had one chance to make it up to get to Q2, and then I was just under a bunch of pressure, honestly, and then I fumbled my lap, and yeah.
Do you think if your game didn't crash and if EA was nice to you, do you think you would be in the top 10 right now?
Probably not. There's a lot of more faster guys on the track than me, but anything can happen.
Well, I'll pass you over to Rekez if he's got any other questions or comments.
Yeah, so X, it's going to be a interesting run. Do you think you'll be able to make up ground in the Grand Prix itself, or do you think it's going to be just a very tricky race for you?
I'm not the worst on this track, I would say, but hopefully dudes in front, I could probably apply pressure on them and then cause them to make a mistake to get positions. But I'll try that, yeah.
All right, well, I don't have anything else. Best of luck to you in the Grand Prix.
All right, thanks.
All right, so now we're going to move to the big man himself. We have SJ here. So, SJ, unfortunately, couldn't quite replicate the success of Arsenal here in Q2, but overall, you didn't make it to Q2. So, what's your plans here for the race?
Oh, yeah, a bit unfortunate. I don't know. I got kicked early on, so I haven't got the right compound tyres, so this is going to be a struggle. We'll see what we can do. I think we're just itching for a safety car, I think, to change the strategy up, because couldn't go harder. So I'm stuck on balance, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I'm happy for my teammate and TP. Done a good job. Struggled in obviously Q1. Made a mistake in my Q2 session. I went way too deep in one of the corners, and then managed to pull 5.5 temps out of Maggots and Beckett's, which was really good. So, but yeah, I obviously lost that 4 temps to Sonny Bray. So a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is, mate.
You think you'll be able to make it up through the field, or do you think it's, like you said, just kind of wait for that safety car?
Depends if people have got their brain switched on for the last round. Div 4's been a bit questionable in the last few weeks. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I had a good week last week. It'd be nice to end on a high. I'm not good here, though, for tyre wear. So, yeah, so this is a track which is terrible for tyre wear. It's just ridiculous. Oh, yeah. So, gonna be a struggle. But yeah, I don't think the spotlight's going to be on me or anyone else. I think the spotlight is on that championship fight between Quick and Mitch. So no, I wish them all the best. Wish everyone all the best on the last race of the season. And yeah, let's see how we go. Obviously, the name change didn't give me any extra help there, but it's all right.
Yeah, you took all the bottling energy that Arsenal had apparently. All right, well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, we didn't bottle this year, which is good. So yeah, pretty happy about that. But yeah, hence the name change. But no, I'll do my best. Like, we'll try and keep out of trouble. A lot's happened here in the last 2 races. I have to wait and see. It's a fast track, and anything can happen. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
All right, well, I'm going to wish you the best of luck in the Grand Prix, and I'll pass you over to Daniel if he's got any other questions or comments.
Cheers, mate.
SJ, bit unfortunate, mate. You said with the tyre wear being very, very high around the home of British motorsport, is your strategy to be on attack or mostly defend because of the tyre wear?
I think you got to try and attack on, obviously lap one, trying to make up a few positions, and then just try and stay with the DRS. You know, the DRS is pretty powerful through Maggots and Beckets down that main straight, going into Stowe. So if we can stay within the DRS with everyone, that'll be quite good. And then obviously maybe go, I don't know, a little bit longer than probably most. Really push the tyres as much as we can. Get on to obviously a right tyre strategy, and then obviously keep pushing, and then hopefully hope that there's a bit of drama at the end and we get a late safety car maybe, but if not, I think it's going to be a two-stop for me, unfortunately, which a bit of a shame because I have seen a lot of people give the one-stop a go, but they do struggle with 4 or 5 laps remaining. But you know, we've had some late safety cars in the last few races, so it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen, especially with obviously what's on the line tonight between Quick and Mitch. And also we've seen Fish Lips and Trio have been very, very quick tonight in the Mercs. So, yeah, there could be a bit of a spanner in the works tonight.
Yeah, very unlucky for you, SJ. I have no other questions, but I do want to say thank you for all the opportunities for me commentating. Just want to say I really appreciate it, making me feel welcome to this very community, which I love already. I will definitely be doing some more commentating next season, but just want to say thank you as well, mate. But good luck on the race.
No, I appreciate it, mate. No, just keep it up and enjoy it. And yeah, we'll see you next season for more cons. And big shout out to you, Rekus, and Daniel for doing this. Obviously, you've been fantastic all the way through season, so I really do appreciate it. And all the best to everyone for the last final race. Let's go.
That was the big man himself, SJ. As we have one more interview, it's someone that got requested, someone that is highly loved here in Div number, 4? It is none other than Kungbus. Kungbus, mate. This chat's going to go insane. So Kungbus, mate, joined very late into qualifying, obviously. But if you didn't join late, do you think you would have made Q2, maybe even Q3?
Q3, look, nah, I mean, I probably could have been up there fighting, but I mean, it's just hard to tell because the field tonight is so tight. But I wouldn't have put myself out of contention to starting in the top 5. But you know, yeah, look, unfortunate. I just finished work a bit late, so that's all right. We'll start from the back and we'll see how the race pans out for me.
Now, is your strategy go absolutely like full on attack, or try and hold back for the first few corners, let the chaos pan out, and then attack? Or what's your strategy going into turn 1?
Yeah, look, I'm thinking I'm probably going to just take it easy going into turn 1, first couple of turns, and you know, watching the last couple of divisions, it's been pretty chaotic. That first opening lap, first half, first sector. So we'll hang back, see what happens, stay out of any drama, and see if we can get a few early positions and make our way out the field. But yeah, don't want to try anything stupid first lap. So, but yeah.
Yeah, very unlucky, Kungbus. I'll hand you over to Rekez to see if he's got any other questions or comments. Rekez, over to you, mate.
Alright, so I do just have a handful of questions for you here. First of all, how do you feel about the absolute fan base that you have here at Rush? Like, you are probably, like, I have never, in my 2 years of commentating with Rush, I have never seen a driver with as much fanfare behind him as they do with you. So, how do you feel about that?
Look, I appreciate every single one of them. It's a great community we've built. It's great. Looking at the chat in Twitch, look at them. Love every one of them. So it's great. Hopefully we can, bring some big things into next season. Can't thank them enough for being here.
And how do you think you're going to go in the race here? Obviously, you'll be starting from the back of the field because I mean, I understand work runs late. I've had to jump from one job and go straight to the second one quite a few times, so I understand the feeling. But do you think you'll be able to make up some good positions in the Grand Prix itself?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, look, it's I guess Jay was saying before, it's a fast track. Anything can happen, but yeah, we'll just take it one lap at a time. We'll might try for an offset first stint, but yeah, see what happens on the first lap. It's always pretty dramatic. Last two divisions on the first couple of laps. So but yeah, we'll see. The pace may not be there, but we can only hope.
All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck coming into this Grand Prix, and good luck in the race.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Kung Bus, the fan favorite. I think that goes without saying that he is the fan favorite here. As we go ahead and get into the final minute of qualifying, rush hour has officially hit one last time here in this quali session. As we go ahead and get ready for everybody here, it is going to be a big one. For your two championship protagonists, Quicksilver currently in P3, Mitchell currently P5. As it sits, Mitchell would have to get a top two finish with a fastest lap, and then Quicksilver would have to get taken out. I am not saying the Alpine's going to call a Hitman Squad, but it may cross their mind. Will they actually do it? Probably not. I don't think anyone's going to do anything that malicious, but I mean, things are expected to get really heated. What I can say, though, about Mitchell is if him and Quicksilver get wheel to wheel, expect them to fight. Don't, I am not expecting that battle to have any sort of just calm. I think that was going to go pretty much right off from start to finish. Drivers making their way through in the final quality session of the day. The final quality session of Div 4 in general, as they go ahead and continue on through QuicksilverDec. He is making his way now as the timer runs ever closer to 0, and Dilby will not be sending another lap, so he'll be done with qualifying. Everybody else is on the out lap or is done. Quicksilver provisional pole, a 1:26.436 for the current championship leader in the Ferrari. And that is qualifying going to be done and dusted. Quicksilver will probably not go for another lap here. What about Mitchell? Can Mitchell go ahead and upset something here? He's coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. I think he had a bit of a slide coming through, as he is going to go ahead and just burn everything to the line. SuperDuck, he's the only driver yet to set a time. We'll see where he does. See where he goes. Coming now into club corner now. SuperDuck on provisional pole, a 1:26.075. And it's an Alpine 1-2 at the moment. And Fishlips is in the pits. He will not improve. And then it is going to be, we'll see who else can go ahead and try to upset the order. Quicksilver, he was recharging, so I do not think he'll be going around again. Trio Kev, he has been pretty strong here. Same with Naya, so I mean anybody can really jump up for pole now. Common United puts even more of a gap between himself and Quicksilver. He splits the two championship protagonists. Trio Kev having a bit of a snap over the line. He does not improve. And Naya will improve though, so Quicksilver the only car left out on track. But he'll come across the line. He will not improve. But it is an Alpine 1-2. And that is a very good result for Alpine as we get ready for the season finale here. SuperDuck is going to be ahead of the championship hopeful of Mitchell, ahead of Common United and the current championship leader of Quicksilver. And then you got Fishlips, Trio Kev, Moe Naps, Muzz, Naya, and Dilby rounding out the top 10. It's been a pretty crazy qualifying session here, Daniel, but we still have a we have a 50% Grand Prix to get to.
Yes, indeed, Requez. 26 laps around the home of British motorsport. Now, with the Alpines qualifying and locking out the front row, now Mitchell's fighting for the championship. SuperDuck ain't. Are we about to see some games from Silverstone? Maybe hold up Quicksilver at one point while we're coming to the first pit stops? Well, we're about to find out as we are now waiting for the drivers to lock in their setups. But Rekaz, I'm expecting Alpine to maybe hold off the people behind them, the second row. There we go, finally got it out. So I'm expecting them to lead going into turn 1 and beyond, Rekaz.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm sure there'll definitely be team orders at Alpine more than likely, just to let Mitchell go on through, and then you're gonna probably see Soup try to play as the Minister of Defense, the French Minister of Defense, as he's racing for that Alpine squad. We'll see how. I mean, I'm gonna be curious because Quicksilver, we know he's got pace. He's a championship favorite by and far because he does have a 20-point gap, and that is not something easily overturned in the span of a single race. Once again, I mean, it would have to be a DNF and then a P2 plus a fastest lap at bare minimum to actually get something here. But with his teammate being the one closest to him, it'll probably be. I mean, that makes things a little bit easier. Alpine also pretty much right on the verge of winning the overalls here as well. I think they've all but officially won the overall championship. So Alpine will have some stuff to take away here, but they also got the Div 3 drivers title as well with Breadman. So a lot of stuff going Alpine's way here. Can they add another driver's title to that trophy cabinet as drivers get ready for their race here? Surprisingly, British weather isn't doing British weather things. It is actually pretty well sunny here in Silverstone. It's going to go ahead and provide us a very entertaining Grand Prix as we get underway for one more dance here at the home of British Motorsport. And it is lights out and away we go here at Silverstone. And it's going to be a bit of drama here at the beginning. Fuel cars off. Multiple cars off. Kung Bus is off. Axe is off. Crutter is off. Facing the wrong direction. And it is a VSC before we even get too far into this one.
Yes, very, 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 very chaotic start already. As Corrupt's already copped a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Karma and what I believe Axe and maybe Kungbus maybe made contact as you see Axe without a front right end plate. As Paulie's also got a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Both Astons have now got a 10-second time penalty. As there's a bit of chaos back at the rear of the field. Everyone's stopping. Why has everyone come to a halt? And Dilby cops us 10 seconds for ignoring yellow flags. I'm expecting more people to cop yellow flags. This is chaotic. We might even see the red flag get thrown here, because that's interesting. As you see Karma without a front wing now. We may see the red flag fly here.
Yeah, so Crutter actually stopped on track, and actually, Dilby got a pen for a severe contact or severe collision on Goats. So I think, and that's a very misleading penalty, because if you breathe on somebody incorrectly under a VSC, then you get hit with a 10-second. As we go ahead and go through, the race is back on. There is a perfect split between pretty much one half and the other. Top 10, you got the top 10, and then you got the bottom 10 currently still scrapping it out here, but the race is back underway. It is going to be Silverstone still going ahead and leading the Grand Prix ahead of his teammate who is fighting for the title. And then you have Common United and the current championship leader of Quicksilver. Quicksilver looking to get that gold Drivers' Championship trophy. And we're going to see who's going to go ahead and hold on here, as Quicksilver is going to try to put a lot of pressure here on to Common United as they go ahead and follow through. Yeah, but here's the thing though. Now they're going to get ready to go to Maggots and Beckett's, which is a really, really tricky set of corners. Oh, as Common United runs wide, open the door for Quicksilver, And Quicksilver will go ahead and get ahead. And he is going to quickly move on by Calm United as he's chasing down SuperDuck. Now, SuperDuck, he will definitely get his wings out here. He will spread his wings like the duck he is and just kind of sit there and hold him up to the best of his ability to allow Mitchell to try to build up a bit of a gap here. So that is going to be Quicksilver trying to go ahead. He's in. As it sits, Quicksilver will win the championship as it sits, but anything could happen in racing.
Yeah, as I said earlier on in the podcast, mind games is going to come into this. SuperDuck has let Mitchell pass. Now Mitchell is going to try and drag along his teammate. And also his teammate is going to try to defend from the championship leader, Quicksilver's. Quicksilver's had a massive, big exit from that corner. They're going down the hanger, or one of the straights. So he's side by side with SuperDuck. Looking around the outside, but that's not going to work. Looking for the cut over, as he is going to try and make the move on SuperDuck, but that is not going to work. Going wide, and that's going to allow Com United back into the build. As Fish Lips has gone wide, and that's going to let his teammate of Trio Kev back through. As it's all kicked off at the front of the field. As you said earlier on, there's a perfect gap between the top 10 and then the lower 10. As I said that, we got Naston around. It's Paulie Mad running on those soft tyres he has gone around. Like you said earlier, perfect split between the first top 10 and then the lower 10. It's like WEC. It's like the World Endurance Championship. We've got the hypercars, then you've got the LMGT3s. Well, the top 10 is the hypercars, and then the lower 10 is the GT3s. That's what it's like at the moment, Wreckers.
I did hear that WEC was eyeing an opportunity to come back to Silverstone for the first time since, I want to say, 1998 or 1999, one of those two. It's been a while since Silverstone has been on the top class of endurance racing. By the way, if you guys get the chance, at least watch highlights for the 6 hours of Spa from the World Endurance Championship. That was actually peak. So, probably some of the best $11 I've spent in my entire life watching that race. But coming back now to the racing action, and funny enough, there are 3 manufacturers here that do actually have hypercars and Formula One cars, and 2 of them are in the top 3. Actually, 3 of them are technically in the top 3, but you have the 2 Alpines and the Ferrari. Aston Martin also currently in the World Endurance Championship. McLaren and Ford joining in next year, as we do lose Alpine, unfortunately. So, hypercar field is getting very good. Also, my team got points on only their 2nd race ever. I am going to be a huge Genesis fanboy, especially because I drive a Hyundai IRL. So, got to stay loyal to my brand. And hopefully we see Genesis in F1 here at some point, but that may be probably going to be a couple years down the line. Anyways, back to the racing action on the current track that we have going on here. Quicksilver really trying to make life difficult, Soup's trying to make life difficult for Quicksilver as he backed him up to a point where now it is about, well, it was over a second earlier on, but now it's about 0.8 of a second, so SuperDuck really just trying to be that immovable wall, and he is trying his hardest to just keep up that defense and just do exactly what he can to hold him up.
Yeah, let's see if SuperDuck, as Mitchell starting to stretch his legs now out in the lead, as the Mercedes are swapping around. You see they're going to go side by side. He went off into the grass going into cop. That's going to let the Sauber of Naya Eshe come back into it, as Triokev loses a position to Naya Eshe. They went side by side going into the cops. The last time we saw someone go side by side in the cops was 2021, Max and Lewis. And do you know how that ended? One Mercedes looking to go through, one Red Bull in the wall. So the Sauber looking the Red Bull, or the Mercedes, and the Mercedes looking at Red Bull. But yeah, as Mitchell has just started to gap his teammate Silverduck. Gap is 1.2 seconds. As Silverduck's he's not really getting good exits coming out of club. But QuicksilverDec is. So I'm wondering, this might be a shout, I'm wondering if Silverduck is running a very low downforce and Quicksilver is running a really high downforce, which is letting him get him through the corners, but not the straight line. Because yeah, look at him gap him through. Oh, he's made a mistake. Silverduck. He ran over the curve and almost binned it. This is gonna let QuicksilverDec, the championship leader, look around the outside. Silverduck, but you don't normally get it around the outside there. As Mitchell leads to almost 2 seconds from his teammate Silverduck, Wreckers.
Yeah, so, and actually, here's another theory. This one might be one of the more plausible ones, is that Silverduck might be trying to take these corners a bit slower on purpose to back Quicksilver away from Mitchell. I mean, he's doing his best impression of a Char 2C, the old beefy French World War I tank, as he's going to go ahead and try to make his car as wide as a Char 2C. And it's going to be interesting to see if Quicksilver can get the move done, and yes, he does. But it quickly gets dropped back. Quicksilver just not quick enough on the draw, and Carmen Ida there now looking for a move of his own. He couldn't give a hoot about this championship fight. He'll try to take a podium for himself just for the fun of it, so he can maybe line himself up to be a competitor for next season's driver's title in Div 4. So it is going to be a good run for Quicksilver. He is going to try his hardest to move, but he is just stuck behind the absolute tank of a car that is the Alpine A25 of Superduck. Just nowhere to go. I mean, honestly, I think Superduck is doing better as a French defense than the entire country in the Second World War.
Yeah, gotta agree with you, Wreckers. He's the Mexican Minister of Defense, as Sergio Perez once got called. Now, let's see if QuicksilverDec can gain through Corpse going into Maggots and Beckett. Looking like a good exit as United runs a bit wide. That's gonna let Fishlips back into it as they go side by side going through Maggots and Beckett as Fishlips slides in front of the RB of United as United has listed another position to Naya Eshe. Now with DRS wide open, not burning the battery surprisingly. He's not really going for it. I think he's staying, but I think Quicksilver knows just as long as he finishes in the top 3 maybe. Does he win the title if he stays in the top 3, Wreckers?
Yeah. So Mitchell would have to outscore Quicksilver by about 21 points. So and with that being said, Mitchell would have to, at minimum, if he finishes anywhere outside of like the top 2, then it is well cooked. It is well cooked. So we'll see how this one is going to go to pan out. I'm just going to do a quick look at the scoring system just to get some extra mathematics. I mean, I know school is getting out for at least a good chunk of the USA, so I know math is the last thing people really want to do at this point, but yeah, so if it's got to be either P2 with the fastest lap going to Mitchell and Quicksilver scoring no points. That is going to be the name of the game, so.
Yeah, as QuicksilverDec's looking very racy as we are going to go through Maggots and Beckett. He's on his gearbox, basically. He's basically touching the rear of the Alpine as QuicksilverDec is going to get a good exit out of Maggots and Beckett's DRS wide open, burning the battery. Let's see if he can get himself up to P2 and chasing after Superduck's teammate Mitchell. No, he cannot do it. Going into Stowe. Now through Vale and Club, can he get a better exit, or is Superduck gonna back right off the pace as that gap is still climbing? That gap is now 5.6 seconds as Quicksilver is looking to the outside, almost gets squeezed onto the grass, but still, SuperDuck is the Alpine Minister of Defense. This is going very well for Alpine as Quicksilver has almost ran into the rear of SuperDuck as Quicksilver is looking to get a good exit going on one of the straights here in Silverstone. Can he get it going into this corner as SuperDuck locks up a bit? Quicksilver looking down the inside. This is bringing Naya into it. Let's see if Naya Eshe can play a role into this, or is SuperDuck gonna try and get Quicksilver dropped down to P4 as they're gonna go side by side through cops. That's gonna let Quicksilver go wide, and he's gonna drop a bit more time as you see another car goes wide. As Quicksilver, they're going to go side by side through Magazine. It's Naya Eshe has just jumped QuicksilverDec as that Mexican Minister of Defense has worked it up magnificently.
Yeah, that was a really good move there from Naya Eshe. Very good move there from the Sauber, making the Ferraris day a bit more difficult as SuperDuck is still just going to hold these drivers off. Quicksilver actually coming into the pit, so he's getting out of that traffic while he can. So Quicksilver now into the pits, and we will see what the championship leader decides to do in terms of the tires. So I think he's firmly in that two-stop window. Excuse me, as he jumps onto a set of hard tires, which I don't think will carry him for the rest of the Grand Prix. Maybe. If he's going to be really good on his tires, then maybe, but that is still a good 16 laps that you have to do on that set of hard tires, which, hey, he might be able to do it. So, we'll just kind of see. I'll be interested to see how the rest of the field just kind of reacts to it. As actually, in the absence of the Ferrari or Quicksilver, Trio Kev and Fishlips have also kind of brought themselves back into play here as they're pretty much chasing down Naya for this P3 position. It'll be, I think it'll be basically in that P4 as it sits, but Naya is going to go to try to follow through as Muzz and Moe go ahead and get positionally swapped. So that is going to be another position gained for Muzz. Speaking of positions gained and lost, the biggest winner here in terms of that is both Naya and Minmeh, and it says Quicksilver's the biggest loser at the moment, but he did just make a pit stop, so I think Com United is more of a accurate answer for that, as we do see that Soup is now in the pit, so he's going to go ahead and swap. I'm betting you he's probably going to swap onto a set of hards. Field of drivers coming into the pits as it sits. So, yep, I see white wall tires, and the white wall tires are being applied. And that is going to be the Alpine driver back out on track. I'll be curious to see where it comes to in relation to Quicksilver. Does Quicksilver get by? Yes he does. The undercut did work in his favor. And Quicksilver now ahead of SuperDuck on 1 lap older tires. That was exactly what Quicksilver needed.
Yes, very, very, very good job on strategy from QuicksilverDec there, dipping out of the traffic very quickly as Mitchell has enough gap to react now. I was looking at the gap from him to Quicksilver. It's around 31 and a half seconds. And what is the transit time from pit entry to pit exit? I think it's around that around about that 30-second region, as Mitchell, the race leader and championship protagonist, is going to bail into the pit lane. That is going to let Naya Eshe into the lead. That same with Naya Eshe and Triokev. They're going to come in, as Fishlips is going to retain the race lead, or regain the race lead here on lap 12. Now the question is, where are they going to come out compared to Quicksilver and SuperDuck? As he has been serviced, and Alpine say, you are good to go, sir. As he is coming to the pit exit now, while SuperDuck and Quicksilver are still coming through Club and Vale. Out of the pit exit comes Mitchell. Does he retain the race lead? Answer is yes, by a long margin, by a big margin, but that margin's going to close because Mitchell's on cold hards while Quicksilver's on nice warm hards. But here's the thing, Mitchell's got a bit of traffic of Com United in front of him, who is on 4-lap old tyres. I think Com United pitted when way before Mitchell, Quicksilver, and SuperDuck. So he's got the benefit of the undercut massively here, as he's gaining on QuicksilverDec's teammate Muzzles. Muzzles big, as actually, you know what? Fish Lips has stayed out. His gap down to he might come out relatively close to his teammate Trio Kev. But back to the championship battle here. It's currently Mitchell who is going to win. Is he going to win? No, I think it's Quicksilver. Quicksilver's going to win currently if he stays in this position. But SuperDuck's going to want to make quick work of Quicksilver as Fishlips does come into the pit lane. Com United stays out. And obviously the Ferrari and Alpine stay out as well. So let's see what happens with this battle between Com United and Mull. This is technically for the race lead now. As you see Mitchell right behind him. If anything happens, he'll scoop him up right away. Going it through Farm, which I believe is the corner name there. Going down one of the straights, pretty sure it's the Wellington. Crew to Karma gets a 3-second penalty, not very him. As just wide open, Mitchell is right on the back of Com United, basically punting the gearbox of the RB as Com United makes the move for provisional race lead. He gets the job done. Muzzles is under big pressure from the championship protagonist Mitchell, who are on those fresher tyres, 11-lap fresher tyres and Muzzles. Let's see if he can get it done. You better not do it here at Cops. No, he dips back behind. As he's going to run a bit wide. Track limit warning maybe for Mitchell. I see QuicksilverDec right behind. As the first round of pit stops is done and dusted, it's Com United, Muzzles, Mitchell for the top 3 wreckers.
Exactly. So we got 2 Alpines scrapping it out, and that is Mitchell and Muzz scrapping it out. Muzz, unfortunately, unable to defend, as well as SuperDuck was defending against Quicksilver, as they're going to go to fight, and he's just going to pull over, and oh, wait a minute. All right, this could be clever. He let Quicksilver by, but boxed in Soup. So multiple layers of defense, offense, every form of strategy in between as they will continue to scrap it out. It is Ferrari versus Alpine. We are back in 2006. We are back in 2006 with a battle between Renault, who is now currently Alpine, and Ferrari scrapping it out here for championship contention. It was back in the good old days of 2006 when I was the ripe old age of 3 years old, when it was Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher. Although I didn't watch F1 until about midway through 2023, but I do like going back and looking at the old historical tapes. But with that being said, Soup did get back past Muzz. Muzz is on pretty old tires, so he is going to try to commit to the one stop here on the night. So we're going to just see what happened here, and this is going to be a very intense battle. Mitchell now. Oh, but look at this. Mitchell right on the back of Com United. But look who else is here. It is going to be Quicksilver. He is just trying to make himself just that little bit of a boogeyman. That's almost contact between Mitchell and Com United. Almost a little bit of contact now. And Quicksilver, he'll have a good run to get past his championship rival. We've already seen Mitchell moving to cover as they make their way through turn 1. Very good there. He's going to try pressuring one way or another. Fish Lips, fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. Oh, bit of a moment there. You do have Mitchell staying to the inside as they get ready to head down the Wellington straight. And this is going to be a good run here. Side by side for the two championship protagonists. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? Up the inside is the attempt, but he has to back out of it. And with a Ferrari versus a Renault, we are back in 2006, baby. This is absolutely insane battling here. Side by side again. But this is going to be Mitchell now still holding on to that position. It is still Quicksilver's title to lose, as we are well over half race distance now at this stage of the Formula One Grand Prix here in Silverstone, a track that has been around since 1948, a former Air Force base. And we are seeing these drivers flying and getting ready for takeoff. But there's a moment here in the back. It is Sonny Bray having a bit of a moment here coming through. Actually, no, I don't think that was Sonny Bray. I think that was actually Muzz who had a bit of a moment there on those old, hard tires. So, jumping back up to the front. And Quicksilver and Soup had a bit of a moment, but they were both... Actually, no, Quicksilver had a big moment, and he dropped behind Soup. Soup is going to let back pass. There might have been a bit of contact, potentially, between them. And the gap between Quicksilver and Mitchell is back to what it was just a bit earlier. Oh, and actually Mitchell has gone past Carmen United too, so still Quicksilver's title to lose at this stage, but things definitely got a lot more interesting.
Yes, very much indeed. With that moment with Muzz, he was battling with the two Mercedes of Trio Kev and Naya, and not Naya, Fish Lips and Naya. And his 14 lap old hards got a little bit too slippery and he went off. So that's what happened to Muzz. But yeah, Mitchell has jumped Com United, and I was watching the battle going into Vale between SuperDuck and Quicksilver. It looked like SuperDuck punted Quicksilver down the inside and punted him wide, so that's maybe why he's giving the position back. But let's see if SuperDuck can take it clean. As we go down the hangar straight, SuperDuck trying to gain back on that Ferrari, running that Monza livery. Let's see if he can somewhat gain back. By the way, Com United is going to peel into the pit lane. He is going to let the leaders battle. Very smart by him, as Mitchell is going to get the race lead, followed by Quicksilver, who is currently winning the championship to Cops. As they're going to go side by side. SuperDuck down the inside. Can he get P2, making an Alpine 1-2? Answer is a big yes. As SuperDuck is back where it was all began in the beginning of the race, where that gap got out to 5 seconds. Let's see if he can bring out the Mexican Minister of Defense yet again. As Quicksilver's going to go side by side. No. He was looking, but couldn't get the move done. But it's currently Mitchell edging out his teammate, SuperDuck, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough for Mitchell, as Quicksilver is going to go side by side. Going in through Cops, that's not really what you want to go side by side. But Mitchell, I reckon, too little, too late. As all Quicksilver needs to do is finish in this position, and he's got that championship locked in. By the way, the more they battle, the more Trio Kev is going to get back into it. Watch that gap really diminish from 2.2. Let's see if Trio Kev can catch up to it, Rekkers.
I mean, with how hard SuperDuck and Quicksilver battling, I think that's definitely within the realm of possibility. As Quicksilver is looking one way, then looking another. Just trying to find some kind of purchase here. He's going to have a good run down to Hamilton straight. Are we going to see a move? The answer is no. He is just going to buy it this time. Quicksilver knows he doesn't need to do anything insane, because he does have that championship pretty much. He's essentially already got one hand on the title. He just needs to continue on with the pace and just don't do anything silly. That's why we're probably not seeing him make any ludicrous lunges, because there's 20 points between them. 351 to 331 as it sits in the Drivers' Championship. So Quicksilver just needs to, I mean, he'll want to get past Super at least maybe make a challenge against Mitchell, but at the end of it, Quicksilver he knows he's in a good spot. He knows that he is going to be Ferrari's ray of sunshine. He's probably Ferrari's best chance of getting a title yet. And I don't mean that just even in the sake of just rides. I mean that pretty much anywhere, really. He's probably Ferrari's best chance of getting any form of title here. As Quicksilver is going to go ahead and continue on. He's going to go ahead and push. And he's going to go ahead and close. And he's going to lick the stamp and send it on through. On the inside. But just not quite enough yet there for the Ferrari man. As Dobie gets a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations. But look, your prediction came to pass here, Daniel. Trio Kevin's in the fight. Trio Kevin's up in a P3. What a maneuver coming through the final corner, coming into the Hamilton straight. And that is Trio Kev up into P3 here on lap 19 out of 26.
Hey, like I said, that gap was 2.1 seconds, or 2.2, 2.3 seconds. Since those two were battling SuperDuck and Quicksilver, that gap quickly diminished. Now, let's see if Trio can maybe unleash some of his real pace. Like Cooper said earlier in the broadcast, we're going to try and get Trio Kev in that top three championship battle, even though he's not really in the championship battle. But let's see if Trio Kev can get him, and he has got him. Trio Kev has got SuperDuck going into Cop. Now is he gonna let Quicksilver and SuperDuck go at it yet again? Wait. SuperDuck's in front of Quicksilver again. Is SuperDuck gonna let Trio Kev run away? And then he's gonna back up Quicksilver into Eshe maybe? Just Records, keep an eye out on Nia Eshe and Fish Lips. Keep an eye out for those two, because I reckon those two are going to come into it real quick, Records.
100%, yeah, and that is exactly what SuperDuck is doing. Once again, trying to resemble that French tank, which I'm going to do some research on that French tank, because I have a really funny suspicion. Let's see. I'm going to just go ahead and check some things. Okay, so that didn't exactly help me at all. I was curious because I know during times of war and such, I know, especially like in the World War I and World War II, a lot of the car manufacturers will switch to working on war supplies, and I know there's a lot of times where like an engine supplier can give engines out for tanks. So, okay, so Renault does actually have some tanks, funny enough. And for those of you who may not know, Renault is the parent company of Alpine. So the Renault FT is a World War I tank powered by Renault. So I mean that's probably, it didn't have a very fast top speed. Its top speed was probably about, let's see. Top speed is about 4.3 miles an hour. 7 kilometers was their top speed, kind of like their actual 2025 car. And contact. That's going to allow Quicksilver to come back through. Fisho's with a pen. And we got SuperDuck trying to go for a move back up the inside. As the Alpine is going to continue. He's going to get the power down. Coming through, and he is going to go ahead and get that move done. What a maneuver. What a maneuver to put SuperDuck back up into the podium spots. And things are getting dicey out here in this field. Quicksilver continuing to fall away a little bit, but he is just stuck behind some generational defense. And yes, you guys did get a little bit of a history lesson. I know school's out for a lot of the U.S., but I still like to give some good history lessons here and there, as it is still going to be Quicksilver trying to go ahead and pull in. So Ferrari, funny enough, Ferrari actually does not have any wartime affiliations because Ferrari wasn't officially founded till post World War II. So around the very late 1940s. And if you guys would like another history lesson, as we are at the historic home of British Motorsport, Silverstone used to be an old World War air base back in its day before it became the British Grand Prix that we all know and love. So we're gonna see how that one's gonna pan out here as Quicksilver is gonna push on. Silverstone is a sprint race this year in the real world. I still don't know when we're gonna see that. And for Quicksilver Dad, are we gonna see a father-son duo in Rush? At least for a reserve program, I think that'd actually be pretty fire. So 5 laps to go here in the British Grand Prix. As it stands, QuicksilverDec in the Ferrari will be your Division 4 Drivers Champion. As we're going to go ahead and...
Yeah, Quicksilver.
Go for it.
Yeah, QuicksilverDec, who's running in that P4 currently, is going to be champion of Division. Silverstone getting very, very going through that corner. It's that gap is still climbing between him and Trio Kev. Kurikama gets another 3-second penalty. As here comes Naya Eshe. Superduck's just let Naya Eshe pass. But look at Fish Lips. Fish Lips getting involved. Fish Lips is also through on Quicksilver. What is going on? They have penalties. Oh, so they're... they're still gonna get... Oh, he's letting him through. That is actually low-key quite... As Quicksilver is looking to try to go side by side. Wait, Rekes? Quicksilver is sitting in P6. What positions did you say he needed to win to be able to be crowned champion?
He would need to finish, like, he needs to score points. Like, if he scores points and if he's anywhere in that top 15, then it is going to be QuicksilverDec winning the title, pretty much. So, I mean, as long as he scores points here, then it is very likely that it is going to be... Well, he needs to be outscored by 20 points. Outscored by... I actually think it's 21 points he needs officially. So, with that being said, 21 points. You get 25 for winning the Grand Prix. So, if we look at the scoring system, he would have to finish P11 or lower at this stage to lose the title. And Mitchell would have to have fastest lap, so realistically he would need to be P12 or lower. As we got 4 laps to go here. Go ahead.
Yeah, that might not be happening for Quicksilver, as there's an Williams of Moe Nabs right on the gearbox of QuicksilverDec. Moe Nabs, by the way, 1 lap fresher tyres than Quicksilver. So let's see if Moe Nabs can make a quick work of QuicksilverDec here. As you see the Aston of Paul Lee, who's a lap down. And the reason why QuicksilverDec got Silverstone is because Paul Lee, who's a lap down, was getting blue flags and wasn't moving. He basically parked the car.
Oh, that's a big spin, big contact! That is Silverduck around. Oh, even more!
Silverduck's out! That is big moment for Silverduck, who is out of the Grand Prix with 3 laps to go. That's gonna let Quicksilver. Does Quicksilver have damage? Let's check on that Ferrari. Does he have damage? He does! He's got a left, right end. That might affect his turning, as Silverduck crashes out on lap 23 or 26. Big moment. As Silverduck, what I think, spun it.
Well, no, he got hit.
Just crashed.
He got hit by Paulie. He got hit by the lapped Aston of Paulie. So Paulie, the lap traffic there, got involved, and he's missing the entirety of his front wing. So, yeah, I think that one, at least from the angle I saw, I think that was definitely on Paulie, I think. Or at least, if not, then Paulie was just kind of right there in the crossfire. But now that is going to allow Quicksilver to really go ahead and just try to stretch his legs a bit here, as it is the final 3 laps here of the Grand Prix. But look at this, Fishlips and Naya. The battle isn't done yet. They're still battling here. Oh, they're wheel hooking just about. Fishlip's making a double Mercedes podium as it sits. But there are penalties. We'll take a look at those real quick. So here's the penalties at this state. And we're on the penultimate lap, and I'll pass this one over to you, Daniel.
Yes, the penultimate lap of the championship. All QuicksilverDec needs to do is sit in P6. But here's the thing, he's got a front left end plate gone. United has really pulled up to the rear of that Ferrari Quicksilver. Let's see if United can make quick work of QuicksilverDec, or is QuicksilverDec gonna retain P6. As we continue on now, Quicksilver's struggling to turn the car. As he's going to go very wide, he's going to let United through. I think Quicksilver knows that he finished. As Quicksilver needs to finish in the top 15 to be able to be crowned champion. But let's see if Quicksilver can get back. No, he's struggling with that turning. But as we are about to start the final lap, Wreckers, it's over for you. It's over. Final time in Div 4.
For one last time in Div 4, we are going to take one last tour around Silverstone. Mitchell has pretty much led almost every single lap here of the Grand Prix. It'll be almost a grand slam in the grand scheme of things, so it is going to be a good run here. He put up a fight, but unfortunately Quicksilver absolutely loses it in one of these last couple of corners, then it will be a Ferrari championship. The championship will be going red as they continue to make their way through this British Grand Prix circuit. So Sonny Bray also getting more penalties to his name. Track limit violations becoming a little bit of a factor. We haven't really talked much about the penalties, but because they haven't really played too much of a factor here in the grand scheme of the Grand Prix. So, it's unfortunate there. So, SuperDuck did spin by himself, and then Paulie just drove straight into the side of him, ending his race pretty early, or at the closing stages. So, it's unfortunate there. But while One Alpine didn't have the best of luck, the second driver has definitely done everything that he needed to do to hold on to this position. And Mitchell will win the British Grand Prix here in Silverstone. But the championship will not go blue. The championship will go red. It'll be a double Merc podium as it sits. But the driver who has put in a heck of an effort here all throughout the season, all 18 rounds, coming across the line now, and QuicksilverDec will be your Division 4 champion of the world. The title runs red, and Quicksilver might be able to change his name to Quick Gold P1 in the Drivers' Championship for Division number 4. Quicksilver, champion of the world.
Yes, the Ferrari goes red. The Ferrari has put up a magnificent race today as QuicksilverDec is going to bring home championship gold as United comes home P4, Naya Eshe comes home P5, then Quicksilver P6 as Minmay steals the fastest lap, Moenabs P7, Corrupt P8, Goats for Life P9, Mosel's finishing in the top 10, Dilby, SJ, Minmay, Axe, Sunnybray, Criticama, and then Kungbus finishing off the top 17, and Paulie and Superdark are only DNFs. But we're going to get our championship winner in the top 3 in. So I'm going to work on that record. So it's over to you.
Indeed, and it's been a good run here all throughout Division 4. It's been a good championship battle. Everybody really just trying to fight for these positions, trying to make everything come together in one perfect symphony of championship glory. And we have gotten just that here on the day. So a very good run there. for everybody. Double Merc podium. Mercedes looking for a strong comeback next season, as they were unfortunately the bridesmaids in the overalls. But they are going to go ahead and just give it a go next season. It is going to be it's been a good season here in Div 4. We still got one more race left of the Rush Racing League, or two more races, sorry, of the Rush Racing League season. And here are your superlatives. It's going to be Mitch, race winner, fastest lap goes to Minmag, Common United driver of the day. And then we have Muzz with the most overtakes, and Moe Nabs getting that point for the cleanest driver of the day. So here are your results here. Mitch, head of Trio, Fish Slips, rounding out your podium. Then Common United, Naya, Drivers Champion, Quicksilver, and then it is Moe Nabs, Corrupt, Goats, Muzz, Dilby, SJ, Minmet, Axe, Sunnybreak, Crutter Karma, Kungbus, and then the retirements of Polly and Soup for Duck, rounding out your field here tonight. So, it is a Ferrari championship here as we go ahead and get ready to get our interviewees into the session. And we're going to go ahead and have a quick chat with them once we get them in. But it may be a moment until we get them in, so we'll just kind of have to see how this one all pans out. But it is been a very good season in Division 4. We still have two more rounds here of the season. We have Division 5 and then Division 3. Div 3 being the last race of the season. And then we will come back after the F1 2026 DLC launches. And I'm looking forward to it because, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. A brand new track that has already been confirmed to be on the calendar with a 100% race attached to it. So we're going to be getting a very good look at the Madrid circuit in Madrid, Spain. And I'm already looking forward to that DLC. And I'm already praying that I do not get scheduled for work on the day that DLC drops. Because I'm not leaving my room. I will just say that. I will be locked in, dialing up career mode, bringing a 12th team to F1. But we can talk about the 2026 DLC another time. We do have one of our drivers in. We have the TP of Vettel for Mercedes. And then we have, I believe that is Trio Kev. We have Trio Kev in. So we'll go ahead and kick off the interviews here. We'll start with Vettel, actually. So, Vettel, double Merc podium. Is Merc back?
I'm Alpine Ruckus.
Oh,
I'm
I
in here
forget.
for Mitch.
Everybody switches all the time.
I know,
like
yeah.
You've been Mercedes for like the longest time, so apologies. So
I know, I was there for 4 seasons.
I
Yeah.
know, like ever since I've been
Amazing.
here, you've been Merc. So my bad on that. Alpine TP Vettel, everyone.
No,
Merc did have a pretty
he's a
good
fraud.
result though. So we'll come back to you. We'll come
Dispute,
back.
mate, why are you in here? You DNF'd.
Hey, shut up.
All right, so we are actually going to talk to
sorry.
the actual Mercedes person in here. So Trio Kev. So I believe that's Trio Kev. Yep, it is Trio Kev. So a good podium for you here tonight, mate. How do you feel about getting a podium in the season finale?
Oh, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, that was a really good race. Had so much fun. Having 2 Mercs on the podiums, that's best way to win the season, I guess. But yeah, ending on a high. Unfortunately, couldn't get on the top step again, but I'll keep trying. Yeah.
How's the motivation looking for next season? Because I know next season is going to be here before I know it. Probably about 2nd or 3rd week of June, if I were to make a guess. I don't know if the official start date has been announced. I know the calendar is going to be announced during the awards night. So, how do you feel about the 2026 DLC? Do you think you're going to mesh well with the new cars? Are you not going to mesh well with the new cars? How do you feel?
Well, it's gonna be brand new. I wouldn't say brand new, but something new. It'll take for everyone to adjust because no one knows what the EA is going to be doing for the cars, especially with the battery management. So it's going to be a bit of learning, but quite excited. So always excited for something new. But yeah, gotta get used to it if you don't like it or not, because we love driving. So why not?
Yeah, so it's going to be a fantastic time. I'm looking forward to new regs, a new team on the grid as well. We will have 11 teams, probably even here at Rush as well. I will personally file a complaint if we forget about Cadillac, but yeah, it's going to be a good time. Anyone you want to give a special thanks or a shout out to here tonight before I pass you over to Daniel?
Yeah, just thanking the GP, the engineer. He was pretty amazing. Helped me through. He did a really good job. Thanks to him, we got 2 cars on the podium. So yeah.
All right, well, congratulations on the podium and enjoy the off season, and we'll see you next time.
All right, catch you boys next time then. Thanks.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk to the champion man himself. It is going to be a championship here for... Actually, we're going to talk to Vettel real quick. So, just going to... we got to say the best for last, quick. So, all right, so we're going to talk to the TP of Alpine this time.
Yeah, bro.
So,
yeah.
Oh, we have a lot of people filing in here. So, all right, so Vettel, so close, yet so far away for the Drivers' Championship. How do you feel about your driver, Mitchell, still getting a P1 result here?
I mean, all season he's been putting in hours, non-stop practicing. He was champion in my eyes, everyone but Stewart's eyes. But yeah, no, he put in a great race, and yeah, no complaints. He's had a few wins in the past weeks, including Monaco and all that. So yeah, he's had a very good season.
Yeah, with all that being said and done, what's the energy in the Mercedes camp going in? Jeez, man, my brain is stuck to 2 seasons ago. I'll ask about the Mercedes in a different time, but what is the energy in the Alpine camp heading into next season? Because you guys pretty much already have the overalls locked and done.
Yeah, it's been a great season. No, yeah, I think we do have it locked and loaded no matter what for overalls. But to be honest, with this season, it's been rough. I don't know if a few of them will not be continuing next season. But yeah, no, it's been a good season so far. Well, not so far; it's ending now. But we had high hopes with yesterday, Toast winning championship. We've had Bread win championship. Yeah, but no, it's been a very good season.
All right. Well, before I pass you over to Daniel, is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to here, Vettel?
Not the stewards, but just the drivers. Everyone, Mitch, Morty, Huni, Soup, Toast, Bread, Tazio, Katusha, everyone, man, they're just awesome.
All right, well, that is the Alpine TP, not the Mercedes TP. Go back and listen to any other season. He was a Merc TP for the most part. But Alpine TP, everybody, and I will pass you over to Daniel if he's got any other questions or comments.
Yeah, well done there, Vettel, on the P1 victory. Now, I gotta know, did you tell ZipForDuck to possibly hold up Quicksilver?
Oh.
No, he did it all himself. He didn't. He did it all himself. I didn't tell him anything. I was honestly just listening to Drake. But yeah, no, I don't know what he was doing. Bit of a dickhead move, if you ask me.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Ouches indeed, yeah. Reckers.
Not nice at all.
But yeah, well done on the victory. Mitchell coming up a bit short, but I don't have any questions. I'm just amazed about this race. But well done on the victory. We'll see you next season for season 12?
11.
For Rush, Div 4, 7-11. Yeah, it's season 10, yeah. Season 11, yeah, we'll see you for season 11
mate,
with
I
new
even got
cars.
on that.
Yeah. Well done on the victory. We'll see you in season 11 with new cars and new regulations. Well done, mate.
Woohoo!
All right, and now we're going to jump to the championship winner here tonight.
I see how it is.
Officially this time, we're officially jumping on with the championship winner of Quicksilver. Now, Quicksilver, it was far from an easy championship for you. How would you rate your progress here this season?
From the start of the season, didn't really get great results in, but as we progressed, obviously the wind started flowing in, the improvement. Well, it was just phenomenal all season, really. Just fantastic progress.
Yeah, I mean, now that you have that championship under your belt here in Div 4, is Div 3 going to be your next target?
Look, I'm not sure how the evaluations are going to work. Obviously, we have all new regulations. Pace is going to be a whole lot different up and down the field. I reckon, look, if Div 3 is in the place, then I'm sure they'd be happy to plot me up in Div 2 with a few other guys. But yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe racing in Div 3.
Yeah, it should be a good time indeed. Well, anyone you want to give a special thanks or shout out to before I pass you over to Daniel here, Mr. Champion?
Let's just, honestly, hats off to the whole Ferrari team, especially Lamb. Cooper, not really part of the team anymore, but it was great engineering tonight with Lamb. Mars as well, excellent. I guess you could say wingman in this championship fight. It's just been like astronomical. All these guys helping me out. It's unreal. Hats off to all of those guys.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic championship here. Really good performances up and down the field, good fights all the way through Div 4. I know I wasn't here for most of it, but a really good job, well indeed. All right, last question before I pass you over to Daniel. How do you feel about the 2026 regs? Do you think you'll mesh well with them? Do you think it's going to be a tough one? How are your feelings about 2026?
We can't foresee anything with these new regulations, but I'm just really hoping to mesh well with the car, ditch a few of the assists, and just send it on out there, really. I'm looking very much forward to it.
Well, someone's got something stuck in their throat, but anyways, congratulations on the Drivers' Championship, and I'll pass you over to Daniel if he's got any other questions or comments.
Thanks, Reckers.
Well. Quick gold deck. We're going to now call you because you've got the gold, mate. You've done it. How do you feel?
Oh, I don't think I could feel any better, honestly. Coming a long way from round one. I was a bit nervous heading into it. Obviously, had a few knobheads out on track. I think you know who you are, but yeah, I can't put into words how I feel. It's just honestly amazing feeling. First championship.
Yeah, strategy played off very, very well. Peeled off quite early and did the undercut. And did that seem to work, even though you would lose a couple of positions thanks to Soup?
Yeah, well, that's the whole reason why I pit, right? Soup was just being a bloody idiot out on track, and well, it didn't really look like there was another option. If I stayed out, it was freaking breaking into cops. There's just like, before I go off my head here, there was just no reason for me to stay out. I think it would have been very dangerous conditions, and there's a lot to look at after the race.
Yeah, very chaotic race. Do you have any people to give thank you to, or any people to shout out?
I've already given my thanks to the Ferrari team, but I think I've got the whole house watching. Hi, Mum, Dad, Bree, watching on the stream. I'd like to shout out Mitch as well. It's been a great season from him. Obviously, a few things haven't gone his way, but that's been the same for me, really. So hats off to him, and I really just can't wait to run it back with him next season.
Yeah, well done, mate. One more question before I let you go. 2026, new cars, new regulations. What are you expecting going into season 11?
Look, I think I've just answered that question with Rekus, but I'm just really, really hoping for, honestly, better results than what I'm having now. We're only looking forward, aren't we? So, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to new season.
Yeah, well done, mate. I'll let you go celebrate this endlessly with the team. Well done, mate. Well deserved. Your season 4, or not this season 4, season 10 Div 4 champion of the world, Quicksilver. Well done, mate.
Thanks, lads. Forza Ferrari.
There you go. He at least did the Forza Ferrari. So that is going to wrap things up here in Division 4. What's up? I thought I heard something. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here in Division number 4, everybody. It has been a fantastic ride of a championship. We have been through 18 rounds of pure competitive glory, and it all comes to an end here. Daniel, anything else you want to say before we go ahead and sunset this division?
Yeah, one more thing to say. SJ, if you're watching, SJ, big thank you for letting me commentate for this division.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
and here I thought.
Big thank you.
Good.
Big thank you for that. My mum came in my room, so that's why I had to mute. Anyway, yeah, big thank you for SJ for letting me commentate all these divisions. Div 1, bit of Div 2, I think, when I wasn't racing, bit of Div 3, and then bit of everything, basically. So I just want to give a big thank you to SJ. Appreciate that. I'll definitely be doing more next season. But I hope I get picked by a really good team for the draft in the next few weeks.
And here I thought that you were about to announce your retirement. Anyways, all jokes aside, a massive thank you to everybody who stepped in as a commentator for Division 4, everybody behind the scenes at the admin team who has jumped in to help, whether it's the stewards, whether it's race organizers, lobby hosts. Of course, I got to give the biggest thank you to the drivers. You guys have made things a lot of fun here in Div 4, as you guys have across all the divisions here at Rush here for Season 10. Hopefully we'll see you guys again next season. Before we go, a massive thank you to our sponsors, Sim Racing Center SimLab and Pagnian Advanced Simulation. And of course, a massive thank you to the Twitch chat for being as awesome as always. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. On behalf of Daniel, my name has been Patrick Coleman, a.k.a. Rekus, and we have been your hosts and commentators for today's race. Tune in next time for Div 5. Have a good night.